Coming up on LUTV News, 2 people are injured after a gunfight in North St. Louis. We have the details. Plus, the man responsible for the 2019 killing of an Illinois state trooper has been sentenced. Find out how much time he'll serve. And the teen accused of murdering 2 and hurting a third during a protest in Wisconsin last year testifies before a jury. We'll recap what happened during the first half of the trial's 7th day. Those stories and more ahead on LUTV News. Welcome to this edition of LUTV News. I'm Lauren Shelton. 2 people are in the hospital after a gunfight outside of a North St. Louis nightclub. Police say a fight broke out inside Diana's Royal Palace on Natural Bridge shortly before 1 Wednesday morning. That fight moved outside after a 19-year-old got kicked out. Authorities say the shooting happened when the teen tried to grab his belongings from someone's car. He was shot in the leg and someone else was shot in their side. Police are still investigating the incident. St. Louis County Police are seeing a trend in mass car break-ins across the area. A UPS facility on Ryder Trail North is among the parking areas that have been hit by thieves recently. Investigators say they are targeting businesses with large numbers of overnight workers such as UPS, FedEx, and Amazon. They are taking things like money, guns, and jewelry. As of November 9th, they say about 160 vehicles were broken into in Central County alone. Investigators are looking for surveillance video to help identify suspects. They are telling people to take all of their stuff into work or to leave it at home. A woman shot a 13-year-old boy trying to carjack her on Monday evening. Police say the woman got out of her car and was walking to her house near the 5500 block of Natural Bridge Road when 2 people approached her and asked to use her phone. The woman told her she didn't have one, and the 13-year-old pulled out a gun and demanded her keys and cash. The woman says the boy became distracted and she pulled out her own gun and shot him. Police say they found the 13-year-old suffering from the gunshot wound a few blocks away, and he was taken to the hospital where he is in stable condition. Police say the second carjacking suspect hasn't been found. The man convicted of killing an Illinois state trooper was sentenced Tuesday in East St. Louis. Police say 47-year-old Christopher Grant pleaded guilty to the shooting of Nicholas Hopkins. He also pleaded guilty to 6 other charges. A federal judge sentenced Grant to 40 years with credit for time served. St. Louis University is investigating after students are caught vandalizing an anti-abortion display on campus. A Students for Life group put up a display of several hundred small flags in the shape of a cross, with each flag representing a number of lives lost to abortion across the U.S. last year. Some students were later discovered vandalizing the display. St. Louis University released a statement that says they are aware of the incident and are taking it very seriously. The anti-abortion group says the display is an annual event, but is usually held in October. Spire Incorporated is sending out emails to consumers warning that gas might be shut off this winter if the company is forced to close a major pipeline. Environmental groups took the gas company to court where a 3-judge panel voted to shut down the 65-mile-long pipeline. The St. Louis Spire pipeline provides gas to about 400,000 homes and businesses in the area. The Spire email warned that customers will get gas until December 13th. The environmental group suing Spire says that the pipeline should still be able to operate during the winter months. It's unclear if the Federal Energy Regulatory Commission will grant Spire permission for use during the winter. School officials in Jefferson County are hiring students to fill open positions. Sources say the district held a job fair to fill positions ranging from kitchen staff to maintenance. They also say nearly 25 students applied for the 9 open positions. The St. Louis Post-Dispatch says students who are hired will work up to 19 hours per week. They will also earn between nearly $10 to $15 an hour. Straight ahead on LUTV News, the defense threatens to declare a mistrial in the case of Kyle Rittenhouse. Find out why when we come back. Nearly 1 million children ages 5 to 11 are expected to receive their first dose of the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine on Wednesday. That is the latest from a White House official. They say that that number represents about 3% of children ages 5 to 11. Officials say another 700,000 children are expected to receive their first dose in the coming days. The official says these numbers do not include appointments being made at doctors' offices around the country. With the vaccine available for children across the country, places such as New York City and Minnesota have set up over 1,000 vaccination sites for kids. Kyle Rittenhouse testified on Wednesday in the 7th day of his trial. Rittenhouse gave testimony in his trial about how he killed 2 people and injured another and whether or not it was self-defense or homicide. After the prosecution made statements about the cell phone video, Judge Bruce Schroeder reminded the prosecution that they could not use the cell phone footage in court.
Why would you think that that made it okay for you, without any advance notice, to bring this matter before the jury?
The defense threatened to request a mistrial if the prosecution did that again. The judge called lunch after the prosecution tried to argue for the video once again. Former President Donald Trump's push to block information about the January 6th Capitol attack has been blocked by a judge. A U.S. district judge rejected Trump's request to block telephone records, visitor logs, and other documents from being released to the House committee on Tuesday. This comes directly after 10 senior Trump officials received court subpoenas. Trump says the materials the committee requested had executive privilege, which means those communications were protected. The judge said in the decision, quote, "While broad, these requests and each of the other requests made by the committee do not exceed the committee's legislative powers." Trump says he will appeal the judge's decision. The Justice Department wants to sentence the U.S. Capitol's so-called QAnon shaman to more than 4 years in prison. 34-year-old Jacob Chansley is a face-painted, shirtless individual who wore a headdress during the siege of the U.S. Capitol back on January 6. Prosecutors say his actions, along with those alongside him, has, quote, "made us all question the safety and security of the country in which we live." The prosecutors want Chansley's sentence to set an example for any possible future attacks. He has been in jail for nearly 10 months. He will be sentenced Wednesday in federal court. Consumer prices jumped in October, and the inflation rate is at its highest point in over 30 years. The Consumer Price Index says that gas, groceries, healthcare, and rent all rose 6% compared to last year. The Department of Labor says November marks the 5th consecutive monthly increase in gas prices. The increases have been linked to customer demand for goods and services as the pandemic declines. President Biden says he's directing his counsel to, quote, "pursue means to try to further reduce these costs," and is asking the Federal Trade Commission to strike back at any market manipulation or price gouging. A South African Paralympic athlete who was convicted of killing his girlfriend Reva Steenkamp in 2013 could be released from prison. Corrections officials say 34-year-old Oscar Pistorius has been up for parole since April. The Department of Correctional Services confirms that he must first participate in a restorative justice program. This is where offenders acknowledge and take responsibility for their actions. Pistorius was convicted of murdering Steenkamp in 2015 and was sentenced to 13 years and 5 months in prison. MSNBC host Brian Williams signing off from the anchor desk at the end of his contract next month. Williams worked with NBC for 28 years and is best known for his time as an anchor for the NBC Nightly News. He later launched the 11th Hour on MSNBC. Williams says in a statement he'll, quote, "pop up again somewhere." In the meantime, the 62-year-old journalist says he plans on spending time with his family. Williams was the network's top anchor from 2004 until 2015, until he was removed after he acknowledged exaggerating an anecdote about a helicopter ride in Iraq.
Clouds on Wednesday may keep the sun from shining, but temperatures will still be pleasant. However, rain is coming. I'll let you know when you'll have to break out the umbrellas after the break. Hopefully you didn't put those jackets away quite so quickly after the warm weather we have had the last few days. Wednesday is still very enjoyable despite the heavy cloud cover, but rain is on the way. Cold front will sweep in behind the storm system and will bring with it more chilly temperatures. So have your umbrellas and jackets at the ready for the morning commute on Thursday. Looking at conditions across the viewing area, there are clouds as far as the eye can see. Temperatures are starting to slowly drop as we move to the east. St. Charles is at 69, while across the river, Maryland Heights is at 68. And downtown St. Louis sits at 67. St. Peters and O'Fallon are holding steady at 69 degrees. As we move to the 5-day forecast, Wednesday is the highlight with temperatures reaching 70 degrees despite the clouds. Rain pushes in overnight and into the morning commute on Thursday, but will taper off around 9 a.m. The sun will make an appearance to dry up the rainfall, and Thursday will end up quite nicely with a high near 60. Temperatures take a turn on Friday, and the weekend is shaping up to be the perfect time to make a pot of chili and light a fire in the fireplace. Highs for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday will be in the mid-40s, with lows dropping to near freezing each night. While we will see a return to slightly higher temperatures for a few days next week, I think it is safe to say that fall is officially here. For LUTV News, I'm Michael Wagenknecht.
Comcast and Xfinity had an outage which took out internet and TV for customers across the country. The outage started on Monday night and continued well into Tuesday. Customers from New Jersey to California were reporting connection drops and other network instability. Xfinity support tweeted, "Earlier, some customers experienced intermittent service disruptions as a result of a network issue. We have addressed the issue and service is now restoring for impacted customers as we continue to investigate." The entire outage was solved by Tuesday afternoon. A St. Louis pet rescue group is overwhelmed with abandoned dogs and cats. Board president of Saving Pets St. Louis says they went from having 12 dogs a week to 15 dogs a day that need rescue. Rescuers say evictions, vet care, and growing tired of pandemic buddies are to blame for the spike in abandoned animals. The organization says, quote, "We are drowning in these guys right now, and they're dying and they're suffering because we have nowhere to put them." They also say they will drive around and still pick up animals they don't have rescue for yet because they can't leave them out in the street. The rescue group says donating money and supplies is always helpful, but the biggest request right now is getting those animals into good homes.
Coming up for LUTV Sports, the Blues had quite a battle in Winnipeg. Find out more about it when we return. The Blues battled it out against the Winnipeg Jets on Tuesday night. In the first period, Pavel Buchnevich scored on a power play goal. James Neal and Jordan Kyrou with the assist. Midway through the second period, Jets answered back with Neil Pionk scoring from a far distance and getting past Jordan Binnington. 6 minutes into the third period, still tied, Kyle Connor would score to take the lead. Blues would answer right back when Jordan Kyrou scoring on goalie Connor Hellebuck. After a scoreless overtime, Ryan O'Reilly would score on Hellebuck in the shootout. Jordan Binnington would come up with the save. Blues win 3-2. The Blues will be back home Thursday night against the Nashville Predators. The St. Louis Cardinals are bringing back relief pitcher TJ McFarland. The left-hander re-signed with the team on a one-year contract. McFarland is expected to receive $2.5 million. McFarland joined the Cardinals this past season in July as a free agent. Last season, he had a record of 4-1 with a 2.56 earned run average. The National Football League is finding the Green Bay Packers' Aaron Rodgers and wide receiver Allen Lazard for violating COVID-19 protocols. The NFL is finding the team $300,000, while both Aaron Rodgers and Allen Lazard are looking at about $15,000 fine apiece. The violations included Rodgers not wearing a mask during his news conferences while being unvaccinated. Lazard, who is also unvaccinated, attended a Halloween party. The protocol prevents unvaccinated players from off-the-field gatherings in groups more than 3. The NCAA is restructuring their constitution for college sports. They plan to give each of its 3 divisions the power to govern itself. The rewritten constitution will focus more on the athletes' welfare and athletics as part of an academic experience. The proposal notes that athletes should be allowed to be compensated for the use of their name, image, and likeness. The new constitution will also cut down on the NCAA's Board of Governors from 21 members to only 9, and will include a recently graduated athlete. England and Manchester United soccer star Marcus Rashford is now a member of the Order of the British Empire. Rashford received the prestigious award from Prince William for his campaign to get the British government to provide meals to children during the pandemic. His campaign came from his own personal experience growing up in a low-income household in Britain. The soccer star dedicated the award to his mother. For LUTV News, I'm Andrew Cameron.
Actor Paul Rudd is now People's Magazine's Sexiest Man Alive 2021. People magazine announced their selection Tuesday, and it had many, including the winner, saying, "What?" The 52-year-old Ant-Man star took the announcement in stride. He even joked that he was, quote, getting business cards made. People cited Rudd's kindness, hardworking attitude, and easy grin as attributes that earned him the award. Here's a combination you may not have thought of: vodka and fries. This is exactly what Arby's is bringing to the market with their new 80-proof vodkas with flavors inspired by their curly and crinkle fries. The curly fry vodka is distilled with cayenne, paprika, onion, and garlic. The crinkle vodka is made with kosher salt and sugar. Both vodkas will be available on November 18th and the 22nd for $60 per bottle. Sales are limited to only 11 states across the country and Washington, D.C. One of the 13 fallen soldiers during the evacuations in Kabul, Afghanistan earlier this year is getting a beer named after him. Friendship Brewery Company created a limited edition Jared Schmidt's Ale to raise money for the Wentzville native's family. In addition to the ale, the brewery will also unveil a granite statue, plaque, flagpole, and bench in his honor. The beer will go on sale Wednesday night. That's it for this edition of LUTV News. I'm Lauren Shelton. Thanks for joining us.